Hi guys, welcome back. You can see I'm kind of doing back-to-back videos, maybe. Same dress on. Yeah, I just turned off the last video. But hey, what we're here about, I wanted to explain embedded law. This is my concept that I've introduced to the court, which is the reason why they're doing the hate game. Embedded law for reparations against Jim Crow. And what that is about is that, and a lot of people's not going to like to hear this, there is not a single human being that has lived in this country more than 6 months that is not racist against black people. And I shouldn't use the word racist because we use that too loosely. Prejudice against black people. Okay? So, but how can black people be prejudiced against black people? Now, come on, y'all know you've heard it. Oh, you got good hair. You heard them that we argue over who's dark, who's light. See, no matter what, this is embedded into our psyche. And until we recognize that point, you will never get rid of racism. Because I studied this and I've been thinking for a long time. And I realized that the answer is education, to understand how can we, for 400 years, well, I guess it hasn't been 400 years that we talked about getting rid of it. For the last few years, it's still, it's funny. It's just funny. Because we talk about it and we talk about it, that racism is gone. Like with Obama being president, we got a black man as president. You set up. You will set up black people. Something happened for the LBGT. I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm saying it wrong. Good for them. Name one thing that happened good for us? And we're in the worst predicament of all. Because like I said, even with being, I don't know if I'm supposed to say gay. I apologize if I'm not supposed to say gay. Because everything keeps changing. But in my day, that's what we said. But if they want to not look gay, they can go into incognito. How do I go incognito? I guess I'm supposed to take some kind of medicine to turn white or something. You see what I'm saying? We can't step away from our suffering. But anytime all of the minorities, all of them, if they get sick and tired of it, they can step away. Go back to their country. Breathe, and if they want to come back, make money, as they say, then they can come back. Wherever we go, we might be treated nicer, but we're made sure to understand this land is our land. This land is not your land. And that brings me to the point, and what I'm bringing up is about embedded law. This is why it was important to bring this to the court. Because our constitutional right demands that we have equal access by law. But nobody's talking like this. That's why I'm saying you guys got to keep sharing this content. Nobody is talking like this. And see, everybody keeps saying, we need reparations. We need reparations. They keep talking. Everybody keeps talking. We need reparations. We're going to get some reparations. We're going to give you some reparations. I heard California was talking about reparations. You're never going to get reparations as it is now. Let me explain to you why. Nobody is telling you why. This is very serious, you guys. You need to share this content, okay? The reason why you're not getting reparations is because right now, if they gave each one of us $100,000 each, we would all be in the same boat we're in right now within less than a year. Definitely less than 5 years. Okay? The vast majority. So nothing is done. That's one reason. Number two, why don't you stop and look at the people who've received reparations? The Israelis, the Jewish people in Israel are getting reparations. Why? They have their own land. They govern themselves. That's why. Did you know that Japan got reparations? Why? They have their own land. They govern themselves. African American, where is your own land? Where do you govern yourself? There is nowhere to bring the money into you. So what needs to be done is these few pennies that we are getting for retribution for what has been done to us and what is being done to us right now. Because my life proves it. I'm telling you. I want you to show me a person who has to live where they've worked hard to get an education and you're cheated out of your education. You'll find one person like that. But then when you find that person that's cheated out of their education, find one that's cheated out of their mother, that's cheated out of their grandson through the court. This is all documented. I'm talking about literally cheated out. Now, I got my grandson back. It took me 3 years of fighting. They were trying to give my grandson to a lady that does drugs, just like her friend, who was my daughter, that was in problems. They're both having the same problem. That's why they were best friends. Why would DCS do that? And then this is the kicker. After 3 years, this just irks me, and I just found out that this judge is doing this by himself. I thought that he was being forced to do it because I just thought, it's funny when you misjudge somebody. I thought that he was a really considerate judge. But nobody would say you did your best job you could do. And you've tried everything in your power, everything, to hand over a child to a woman that you know is mentally slow. She was born this way. She was born with she's born with a very serious disability, okay? And it includes that she can't think well. You knew that she was best friends with a person who was a drug addict, okay? I know I've never been best friends with somebody that's a drug addict. I respect drug addicts because I feel like that this country and this society creates these people and they turn them out there with nowhere to go. But that don't mean that you give my grandson to one. You took him from my daughter, and then you're going to give him to his fourth cousin. Knowing that they were best friends. That they enjoyed the nightlife. They might not have known about the nightlife, but they knew about the best friends. So come on. You're not best friends with anybody except people that are like you. That you're going to talk to all day, all night. People like you. So these are things that was done to me. And then my son right now is going through murder charges. It started out with reckless homicide. I was told by his attorney, who is refusing to give me any information on my son, refusing to give my son any information, been in there 2 years, we're not allowed the discovery of why. Where is the intent? Where's the intent? All witnesses say there were accidents. contradicting ways the accident happened. Okay? There's absolutely, from the little bit of discovery they gave us, absolutely no evidence of intent. And when I told the judge, I held up. I'm going to get this. Hold on. Okay. So I held this up. This is what my son had to mail me. He had to take a chance on losing his discovery because his own mother is not allowed to have his discovery, even though he signed release that he wanted me to. Well, we know he wanted me to. Looks like that light is making it hard to see. I know I can't see it. So you guys probably can't. Oh, there you go. Okay, so that's my son, Kimuel. And he wanted me to have this discovery. And when I told the judge about this, he said, well, you know that your son is mentally ill, so he has no right to choose who he wants to have his information. Because his attorneys have that right. The same attorney that was fired in another situation with my son because he was working with the prosecution then, and now he's working with the prosecution again because he was doing the same thing, trying to block me out because the main thing is he don't want to do nothing. And he should have, from the very beginning, taken depositions and presented, is there any evidence? There is no evidence, so whatever. So the charges had to be dismissed. And if they were going to lower them, they should have been lowered so that my son could have qualified for a bond. He's been sitting in there for 2 years. Okay? And when I told this judge what was going on, do you know what this judge said? He told me, ma'am, would you like for me to subpoena you? And I was so confused because I was like, hell yeah. And you know I didn't say it in court. But my brain said that. I was like, yes, subpoena me. Subpoena me. Because there is no evidence of intent. And why don't we have the depositions? See, when you are questioning a person, there's a transcript going back and forth. We haven't been allowed. And then he's going to say, well, your attorney's going to get that 2 years later. And he's being represented. Oh, you guys, what they do to black people. And so what they've done is they've ganged up 2 attorneys that are supposed to be representing him. Neither one of them are speaking out for him. All they're doing is riding the roller coaster of the prosecution. And when I bring it to the judge that looked at the docket, he should have had discovery right after he got in there. He was in July. And the first time he ever asked for discovery was in March for these murder charges. In March. Asking for discovery. All the time I'm asking, my son is asking, when are we going to get the discovery? Well, nobody's getting discovery. Nobody's getting it. They're backed up. And so when I went to the attorney and I told him, I said, well, look, I've been very patient with you people. And you need to compel the court for discovery. Not knowing he never even asked for it. Never even asked, y'all. And we don't got no rights. None. Okay, so these are the things that I'm trying to get you to see with one person. I go to the police department and I'm filing a complaint. The policeman that's supposed to file the report is called down. There's Sandra Black. She points right at me. There's Sandra Black. She's your person. This police officer bends over behind the door and sees a white lady sitting behind the door and says, oh, ma'am, how can I help you? Come on into my office. And the lady said, I told you, Sandra Black. Then he comes up to me, well, what do you want? And this is a way of life. I'm telling you. Of course, it's not every day. It's not every day. But when anytime you go out, you're taking that chance. And it happens a lot. Oh, it happens a lot. Give you another example. The bank that I bank at, every time I give my kids, any of my black friends, anybody, a check, I've given out checks for $300, $500, $300, okay? I've given out checks for $20, $50, checks for $20, $50. Hello, Sandra. We're just calling. We have your daughter or we have your son or we have whoever is in the office. I was making sure that they have a right to cash this check. And I'm like, yeah, I sent them in there. Now tell me why. When a young white kid happens to be visiting in my daughter's house and my daughter's house is where I used to live. Okay? And she took over my house and I moved out. So I had to have left some old checks or something was there. And he found one when he was visiting her. And he took it to the bank. And it was $150. Not the 20, not the 50. $150. And they cashed my check like that. And then when I wasn't even thinking anything about it. I was just, because they was like, do you know who this person is? And then I was like, no, I don't know who the person is, because then I didn't know if they were black or white. So I was like, well, what do they look like? Are they black or white? Oh, no, you don't talk about that. We don't talk about that here. I was like, I said something wrong here. And then later I found out he was a white person. See, this is what I'm talking about. And then you go to the restaurant, and always is, no, don't let me say always. We have good treatments. But when I say always, it's the idea. And this is what people don't understand. They keep saying, you calling the race card, you calling the race card. The only reason that we're getting mistreated is because of this color. I'm not getting mistreated because I have pneumonia. I'm not getting mistreated because I didn't pay my taxes. I'm not getting mistreated just because of poverty, even though that's a big part of it is with poverty. Because poverty was set up by design for black people. Policing set up by design for black people. And so whenever white people suffer, what you are suffering is living black. And then I'm telling you, if we wake up and realize everything that black people suffer from, if you attack that, poverty, housing, discrimination, and you cap that all off, every other race wins by default. But nobody's talking like that. And when we're privileged, we really would rather say, oh, nothing's happening. You're just complaining. You're just complaining. Well, you know what? I've got several court cases. Well documented. Take a public look. No human being should be treated just because you were born the American wrong color, the way I have been treated. And that's what helped me to come up with this concept of embedded law. So we need special damages. Somebody who has suffered all of their lives. I'm a chemical engineer. Where I was working at last, where they had me to where I was about ready to kill all of them and let the police do me in. Just like these other people that don't know about, I don't know why these monsters want to do that. You lived 10 years with somebody torturing you every single day. Now that was every single day. You live 10 years like that, and you see if you don't go insane. So, she didn't do nothing about it. She should have went to the EEOC. I tell you one thing. I had a Rob Stone. Great little unit. He was a Jewish, short little white guy. Ooh-wee, he stayed on my butt. Don't let them do you like, because they would work me where I wasn't supposed to be working. They tried to make me train somebody to be my boss. Just all kind of, just harassing and at one point, death-threatening situations that was being done to me at the city of Chicago, where they are going through a discrimination case right now, if it's not over yet. I wasn't included because mine is class action. I would have been included, except I was just 1 year over. You can't be up to 20 years. So you guys, you know that these TikToks, and I'm trying to make TikTok videos. I'll probably put this up on YouTube as well. So follow me, the Global Elite Takedown. And what is a Global Elite Takedown? Don't play their game. You guys, money's not real. Money's not the power. Oh, money's the power. No, people is the power. You get the people together, I promise you, they can make your clothes, they can grow your food, they can make up services that will help the people who are suffering, and they can make a community grow up. The people can. Money can't do. I'm just telling you. And that right there, that's the Global Elite Takedown. Yeah, right now you do have to have money because you've let them have power for all of these 5,000 years. Because it didn't start with white people. All of this mess started with black people. Now y'all gonna get pissed off. I don't give a. All of this mess started with black people. Go to Job 30, the chapter, and see what a black man is telling these white people who lived in caves. Read the whole chapter. He called them he said that he would disdain the flocks of his dogs to eat with white people. Jesus said, called a Greek woman a dog. I wouldn't dare heal you to give what was meant for the children of God to a dog. Oh, I promise you, Google it. It's in there. And see, then black people want to get mad. Oh, why she had to go there? She didn't have to go. No, look. Sometimes you just have to tell the whole truth. I don't care who gets mad. I'm coming out with the whole truth. God is fair. Ain't nothing came to nobody that didn't have a way that it was coming to them from an action, an act. Okay? People leave their baby at home and the house catch on fire. An act. They should have been home with their baby. You see what I'm saying? So when we wake up and understand that we are in this pot together, this is the human race. H-U-E. And I know it's a lot of black people because I know I am Hebrew Israelite. I am what they call the chosen of God. Only they don't know who that God was that was over Israel. I wrote a book called Ultimate Deceit of the Human Race by Ezrath Bat Shem, Ezzrath. You look it up. That book is so powerful. It explains all about what was going on with these religions and how we all got messed up and turned around and destroyed. You see? So, to my knowledge, I know of no other person that has researched to know who the people are, to know why we are in this condition that we live in, and to have the answer of how we get out of it. And I mean, it's simple. I just told you, global elite takedown. That's been going on for 5,000 years. That the 1%ers, for 5,000 years, the royalty, the Pope, the Rothschilds, what they have done is convince the 99% that they can have nothing but what they allow them, the 1%ers allow. Now, I want to give you an example of what that's like. The 99% and the 1%ers. Imagine 100 people kidnapped and locked in a room. And the kidnappers, Anunnaki, Nephilim, came in, y'all. See, y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. I'm telling you. Remember that word. I'm not going to teach y'all. I'm not going to go deep. I'm just giving you who the kidnappers are. Anunnakis, not Nephilim. Same thing. Hebrew Nephilim. Sumerian Anunnaki. Okay, you can find out where these kidnappers came from on your own. Look them up. So anyways, they give one man 10 pizzas to feed all of the 99% as he sees fit. And that one man goes to the 99 and says, look, we're going to take this one pizza. I'm going to hold these 9 pizzas. Y'all, we're going to triple it all down to y'all. So they give the one pizza to Oprah, Bill Gates, and the ones that we call global elite. They're not global elite. They're just wealthy people that are puppets to the global elite. The puppets. And so these 3 people say that, okay, we're going to take this one slice of pizza, and you 99 are all going to get 90 pieces of crumbs. Now, come on now. You know what's going to happen. And that's why I don't understand why people don't see. Why are we letting them get away with it? All we have to do is wake up. And embedded law is the start. Wake up to what our history is, how we contributed on each side. How was it contributed that hate and being racist against each other? Because black people had the power. We were the ones who built civilization. We were the ones, everything we said went. I'll give you another clue. Here's another tidbit. Who do you think is responsible for the Black Plague? Ring around the roses, pockets full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Singing about when black people came over here, they'd see a strange black man. And he's gassing them. And it stink. So they know it just stink. Next thing they know, they dying. Oh, my bad. Rats was killing them. It was rats because they were dirty. They had rats. Yo, we so stupid. How many people getting black plague from rats today? I'm going to get out of here. They going to shoot me today, y'all.